What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So, of course, this video today is to react to my predictions video that I made on the 3rd of August 2021. Of course, predicting where the teams would end in the table. Of course, with the season now over, we can look back on that prediction video and react to it, see how many I got right, see how many I got wrong. The usual structure for this video on my channel is to start with 20th place and go up the table from there. So we're going to do that in today's video. If you do like the video, please do hit a like on it. Also subscribe. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get straight into the meat and potatoes of the content today. So in at 20th place, I predicted Watford. Now, of course, I was off by 1 place here. Watford ended up finishing in 19th place instead of 20th. Moving on to 19th place, and I predicted Crystal Palace to finish here. Of course, they ended up finishing in 12th place, so I was quite a bit off on this one. In 18th place, I predicted Brighton to finish here, and of course, they ended up finishing way higher up the table in 9th place instead. In its 17th place, I predicted a finish for Brentford. They, of course, ended up finishing in 13th place. Southampton I predicted to finish in at 16th place. They ended up, of course, finishing 1 place above that in at 15th place in the league. Burnley I obviously predicted at 15th place. And, of course, as we all know, they went down yesterday to the hands of us in at 18th place instead of 15th where I predicted them to finish. In at 14th place, I predicted Norwich City. Of course, they ended up going down dead bottom of the table. Very bad season as well for Norwich City. And, of course, they ended up bringing in Dean Smith as well as their manager through the season, a little bit into the season anyway. In at 13th place, I predicted my team, Newcastle United. And, of course, we ended up finishing 2 places above that in 11th place. Could have possibly finished in at 10th place if the results had have went in our favour. But 13th place I predicted. Newcastle ended up finishing 11th place. I'm quite happy with that prediction because it's only, 2 places off. So I got it quite close, at least on that one. Moving on to 12th place, I predicted West Ham here now. I don't know what was going through my mind on this one, but I predicted West Ham finishing at 12th place. They ended up course finishing in 7th place instead, so a reasonable bit off on this one. Aston Villa predicted to finish in a 10th place. They obviously ended up finishing in 14th place, and of course Steven Gerrard ended up coming in as their manager as well a little bit through the season. And it's just one of them things. It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day to predict. But moving on to the next one. Of course, in at 9th place, I predicted Leeds United. Of course, they ended up finishing at 17th place. 8th place, I predicted Arsenal. They ended up finishing 5th. Could have possibly finished 4th if the results had went in their favour on the final day. In its 7th place, I predicted Tottenham. But, of course, they ended up finishing 4th because the results went in their favour on the final day. It was between them and Arsenal for a battle of 4th place, and Spurs ended up coming out the winners. But I did predict Spurs in its 7th place this season. Moving on to 6th place, I predicted Everton here. Of course, they ended up finishing 10 places down the table in its 16th place instead. They've had a pretty bad season. They were very, very lucky to finish at 16th place, I've got to say, because they could have so easily been going down this season, and probably should have went down as well this season for the way the team played. It was really, really poor by Everton. No disrespect by any means to Everton fans that are watching, just my personal opinion on that one. Moving on to 5th place, and I predicted Leicester to finish in 5th place. They ended up, of course, finishing in 8th place instead. Liverpool I predicted to finish in 4th place. They obviously ended up finishing in 2nd place, only just losing out on the Premier League title, of course, which we will get to further in the video. In 3rd place, I predicted Chelsea, and I was right in my prediction on this one. I got it dead on. Chelsea finished in 3rd place in the league. 2nd place, I predicted Man United, and they ended up having a really bad season, ended up finishing, in their terms anyway, a really bad season, and ended up finishing in 6th place. I don't know what I was thinking with the Man United prediction, putting them in its 2nd place. I was looking at maybe, like I say, this video was done on the 3rd of August last year, and I was looking at, the players that they were bringing in, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane. They even ended up bringing Cristiano Ronaldo in at one point. But, looking at it, I don't know what happened there. I think it was mainly down to, the manager, the structure wasn't right at their club. There's a lot going on at Man United, and I think it's going to be a while before, they're eventually back to what they would class as acceptable for their club. I think it is going to be a while before they are back at that level that they would class as an acceptable position. And of course, in the 1st place, I predicted Manchester City. I got a dead on the nose on this one. And of course, Man City ended up winning the league title. It's kind of obvious if you look at it. Man City is the team to beat in the Premier League these days. They've won, I think the last 4, I believe it is, Premier Leagues. They've done absolutely amazing with their leagues so far. Pep Guardiola's done a really good job there in Manchester City. They are the team to beat. And of course, there's been a lot of ups and downs this season for a lot of teams. There was a lot of stuff, that people had to deal with. We were still dealing with a little bit of the pandemic in this season as well. And of course, going back to my prediction for my team, Newcastle United, in a 13th place. Well, like I say, I was predicting it on the 3rd of August. We did have a takeover on the 7th of October during the season playing. We had 14 games, in the season where we hadn't won a single game. It wasn't until the 2nd of December, it wasn't until the 4th of December that we picked up the first win. I believe it was against Burnley. And, there's been a lot happen for Newcastle United, so I'm pretty happy, to be honest, that I did get it at least a little bit close to that prediction, because it so easily could have been a relegation as well if we hadn't have had, the takeover. We hadn't had a manager in Eddie Howe who knew what he was doing. We didn't have the players rejuvenated and looking more galvanated as a side, to go forward. So it could have so easily went the other way for us Newcastle United fans, but I'm quite happy with my predictions. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know your predictions as well down in the comments below, how close you've got, of course, to, where the teams finished in the league compared to what you predicted them to finish. I will be keeping an eye out on them comments down in the comments below as well, so any that I see really good will get a like on them. And of course, be realistic. Don't just cheat, and say that you got them all correct. I did see the comments for the previous video, so I can go back and check on that one. But anyway, hope you're all staying safe and well out there. Thanks as well for the massive support to the channel over this season. It has been amazing. We've really pushed on hard this season as well to get to that 1k subscriber milestone, which we did actually achieve, which is absolutely massive for the channel going forward. So I do want to thank everybody for the effort and the support that has been shown to the channel this year. It's been absolutely fantastic. Let's push on harder for next year to get even higher up, even more exposure to the channel. And also let's hope for an absolutely fantastic transfer window heading into the new season as well, which I will talk about on the channel over the coming days. In the course over the transfer period as well, there will be videos coming out talking about targets that are being linked to the club, players on the verge of joining the team, players that have signed for the team as well. There'll be loads of that on the channel, so keep an eye out for that. Of course, there will be my end of season review as well, talking about the season in the whole, which will be coming out probably in the coming days as well. If not, keep an eye out for that, because that will be an interesting video. I'll really try and delve as deep as I can into how this season went down. So keep an eye out for that one. Until next time, I'll see you all later. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and how are the lads?